Hey everyone. Please support what I do to help keep Greyhawk alive by subscribing to the channel. Also, please consider becoming a channel member to get early access to videos, exclusive live chats, quarterly adventure modules, and more. Thanks, and enjoy the show. Well, it's that time again. I'm going to go through some of the new items that have been posted by the Greyhawk fan community today on Greyhawk Grognard. So I'm going to continue with my series of videos. I'm going to do this a couple times a month to just highlight all of the different things that the Greyhawk fan community has produced. Most of it on DM's Guild, a few things elsewhere, and just to boost what everybody else is doing, and as well as my own stuff, of course. Um, and I just want to make it clear that I pay for all of these books. Nobody gives them to me as promotional items. A couple of them are pay what you want on drive through on DM's Guild, so there, take that. But on the whole, it is all my doing. So here we go. I'm going to use dealer's privilege and boost my own Greyhawk Player's Guide. This is available as PDF, soon to be in hardcover. I am pleased to say, hopefully. Um, it is 113 pages, 14.95 for the PDF. It's a silver bestseller on DM's Guild, and basically, it gives you all kinds of new player-oriented material for Greyhawk. It gives a quick overview of the lands of the Flyness. There's new backgrounds. There's stuff on the languages. There's new subclasses for all the classes. It especially focuses on wizards. There are 8 new wizard subclasses, each one focused on a particular famous magic user from the world Greyhawk. So there's a Mordenkainen subclass. There's a follower of Tensors and so forth, and it's all themed around what their personalities and spells are like. A lot of the spells come out of the original Greyhawk Adventures hardcover book, but there's some from a bunch of different sources. I kind of gathered up as much as I could. Um, it's got an overview of the deities. It's got over 100 new spells, new feats, whole bunch of stuff. It's basically, just more Greyhawk oriented options for players. And of course, game masters are going to want to use it too. So please do consider getting it if you haven't already. And like I say, hardcover's coming. So if you're one of those who wants to hold out for that, I completely understand, but watch this space. And also in November, I came out with the Greyhawk Cleric's Guide. This is a much bigger work. This one is 212 pages. It's 19.95 for a PDF. Again, soon to be a hardcover. We hope. We hope. This is a copper bestseller on DM's Guild, and this is basically 80 different cleric subclasses. There are two kind of generic ones, and then there are 68 different subclasses, one each for a specific deity. So I go through 68 different gods of Greyhawk, about their worshippers, how they're worshipped, about the god themselves. Although I don't give stats for the gods, because this isn't a monster manual. It describes what the gods like, what they look like, and how they're worshipped, and what the temples look like, all that kind of good stuff. And then there's material for clerics who worship the different gods. And depending on the deity, you might have specific or new domain spells. You might have different options for holy smiting and channel divinity and so forth. Yeah, so this is basically 70 new cleric subclasses, all specific to the world of Greyhawk. Although, of course, you can use them in any campaign. If you want to have a specialty cleric for a god of the wilderness, you could just go in here and take out the section on Alona or Obad High, and change the name, and boom, drop it into your campaign. So to my mind, this is the kind of material that I find most useful, is the rules that kind of fill in the crannies and add detail. There's also a bunch of nice detail. Kind of flavor text around the different religions. I try to put in a little snippet, whether it's a legend or a fable or a saying or something that's related to each god or each religion. So uh, 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 it's got a bunch of art inside. It's all done by all from DM's Guild or Drive Through RPG. It's all art from different artists that is licensed. So so there it is. Do check it out, Cleric's Guide. Uh, yeah, we have the Revenant Deck of Many Things by Christopher Hamwell. It's an adventure for 7th to ninth level characters. It's already a copper bestseller, and it is a 24-page PDF, which I flipped through. I haven't obviously had time to run this or anything like that, but as the title suggests, it's an adventure involving a new type of Deck of Many Things, and um, it takes place mostly in the city of Greyhawk, which is pretty cool. The art is done by Eric von Darknoir, and Dyson Logos did the maps. However, I did notice that the module does use a map that was originally published in the Greyhawk Player's Guide from 1998, and I'm pretty sure that's a no-no. So, Christopher, if you're watching this, you might want to do something about that, because you can't reuse art that you don't have a license for. But on the whole, it's only $2.95, and for a 24-page PDF, that is right in the sweet spot in terms of my price range. So if you've got a need for a quick, looks like it's a one night kind of adventure, but it's for that price. Why not? I mean, you get a nice couple of encounters. There's drove. There's some cool things happening in the city. So this is definitely worth getting. Well, I'm going to say that about everything, but it really is. So next up, we have Bad Luck Brews at the Mist Fort Inn, a Greyhawk adventure that is set in Sterich for levels 1 through 4. This is by Joseph Dabari, and there's AI art for the cover and no other art on the interior, with the exception of a map that is borrowed from a Dungeon Magazine article, and same thing applies. Pretty sure you're not allowed to do that. You got to make your own maps or something. Um, but this is it describes on the cover. It's a social urban adventure that emphasizes role playing and investigation. Um, and the It's let's see, the near the village of Poignard, within the March of Sterich, on the border of the Crystal Mist Mountains to the west, a murderer rests and recovers at the Mistford Inn. Bad Luck Brews. So this could be an interesting little thing. This guy is 33 pages long. It's an interesting interior because it doesn't have the standard 5e layout that you'd be expecting. It's done in landscape. It's in a 3-column landscape thing. It's all black and white in the interior, which is it's striking, and it's nice to see people experimenting with other formats, rather than always trying to emulate the new one. So there we go. It's $5, 33 pages. It's still in the good zone price wise for me, and it's an adventure set in the Western Flaness, which is always nice. Always nice to see something like that doesn't have giants in it for once. So anyway, Bad Luck Brews at the Mistford Inn. Check it out. Next up, we have The Cursed Abbey of Boccob, a fourth level adventure, again by Christopher Hamwell. He is on a tear putting stuff up there. It is a copper bestseller. It is a 40-page PDF, an adventure for fourth level characters. Your heroes are summoned to the Abbey of Boccob, a forsaken sanctuary nestled within the crumbling remains of Greyhawk Castle, mere minutes from the free city of Greyhawk. Their task is simple: delve into the Abbey's unparalleled library and unearth a piece of obscure lore lost to time. Yet, what should be a refuge for quiet reflection and study holds dark secrets that twist like the shadows in the corners of the mind. He's got a way with words. I like these. And it's got Vecna in there and so forth. So that's obviously nothing is ever what it seems. 40 pages for $4. It's a 3.95 download, and for the PDF, you can't beat that. And fourth level, I love just the start of, for me, what is the sweet spot level wise before the characters get way overpowered in fifth edition. In that fourth to sixth range is where I like to play the most. It's got art by Eric von Dark Noir and maps by Angela Spencer. And again, Hamwell's stuff is usually always pretty good. So recommend it, and you get a good value for your money. So do check it out. Next up, we have another adventure by Christopher Hamwell, The Favor of Noxious, the third level adventure. This one takes place in the Hool Marshes, which is nice. It's down in the southeastern corner of the Flaness, near the village of Bogspur. Unsettling events are taking hold. Kobolds and lizard folk, usually hostile to one another, are banded together in a series of peculiar heists, slipping away silently after each raid. Villagers are left bewildered and afraid. with no understanding of the creature's intent. Meanwhile, an ominous black dragon has been spotted gliding over the marsh, filling the villagers with dread as they wonder what dark purpose it might have. So there's um, another really cool adventure. This is $2.95 download for PDF. It's 29 pages long. Again, art by Eric von Dark Noir and Dice and Logos maps. This is I love the cover. The cover on this is just one of the most striking ones I've seen. Looks like we've got a map by Anna Meyer in there. The usual good layout work that he does. He does a very good job with the art and so forth. Lots of cool maps and Dice and Logos. You can't go wrong with him. He's been doing that for forever. So yes, not much else to say. It's third level adventure set in the Hool Marshes. So if you've got something going on down there by the Sea Princes, it's definitely worth checking out. Next up, Christopher Hamwell continues to dominate with another adventure, Journey into the Jotuns, 7th to 8th level. It's 2.95 for a PDF. It's 32 pages long. Art by Eric von Dark Noir and Dice and Logos does the maps. Um, I'm guessing that Christopher has a campaign set in the Western Flyness. And that's where all these things are coming from because he's got a whole big cluster of stuff going on there. This is a pretty cool one again. The adventuring band known as the Claw has resurfaced from retirement with a dangerous new enterprise hidden deep in the Jotuns. They've built a secret Behir breeding operation, attracting ambitious alchemists and greedy wizards eager for rare components from these fearsome creatures. When troubling whispers reach the city of Loftwick, the esteemed druid and naturalist Baldwin Burberry summons the heroes to investigate. But when the heroes meet Baldwin, it's clear he fears the Claw's influence runs deep within the city, possibly reaching the Freeholders' Council itself. You got some intrigue going on, and then you've got a wilderness adventure. It's pretty cool. Um, the one I Here's one I do have a little tiny itty bitty criticism. There's a wilderness map for players and a wilderness map for the DMs, and um, I'm not sure where it comes from, but it says one big hex equals 30 miles, but there aren't any big hexes actually on the map. There's a bunch of little hexes, and then there's like colors forming big hexes, but they're not everywhere. So it's kind of it might have just made more sense to say one small hex equals 6 miles. I don't know where the map came from, but yeah, it's like you can tell where the hexes are when there's mountains or hills, but when there's plains, there's no way to really tell where a big hex starts or ends. So other than that, I don't have any criticisms of it. Christopher Hamwell on a roll, and I'm wondering if we're going to see any more from him in this video. I wouldn't bet against it. Next up, we have one of my favorite products in this video. This is the Free City of Greyhawk Encounters and Rumors by Marco. Forgive me if I mispronounce it. Giulio Fossati and La Casa nel Dungeon, um, who also did the art on it. This is a 52-page PDF for 9.90, and it is basically 50 pages of encounter tables and encounter descriptions. And the encounters aren't just with individuals. You can encounter things like, um, uh, objects are in the street, or there's a burglary going on, or there's a lost child, smugglers, that kind of thing. And the encounter tables are differ from one quarter to another. So in the artisans quarter, you're going to have different numbers than you would in, say, the river quarter or the high quarter. So it's a really, really well done. This is one of the most immediately useful things I've seen in this span of time. If you're going to be running a campaign in the city of Greyhawk using 5e, this is going to be something that is immensely helpful to you. Like I say, it gives quick rules for rumors and the attitude of the people that you encounter, and there's factions and things like that. There's a chapter on places in the city. I mean, it's really immensely useful. This is one that I really hope does end up in print, because if so, I would put it right next to my box set, City of Greyhawk box set. This is, and the best part is this is not particularly um, uh, 5e specific. You could use this easily with just about any version of the game out there. It's very light on rules. It's a you roll an encounter for a priest, and then you roll a d12 to see what deity they serve. There's no um, there's no mechanics in there. So definitely, it's technically for 5e because it has to be because it's DM's Guild, but it is so light on mechanics that I recommend this for any edition. Free City of Greyhawk Encounters and Rumors, this is one I say definitely get. Next up, we have the Classic Guide to Greyhawk by Stuart Kerrigan, Paul Luby, and Paul Jurdzika. Apologies if I did not pronounce that correctly. Art by Anna Meyer, Zach Henderson, and Robert Conley. It's for 5e, but it's pretty rules light. And let's see, it is 19 pages long, and it is free, boys and girls. So do download it. If you've been around the setting for a while, you're not gonna find a lot of new stuff here, and that's by design. This is has the same kind of function that my campaign guide does. It's to give newcomers to the setting, a more classic take on Greyhawk, which is I'm all in favor of. It gives some overviews of different things, the different countries in the different regions of the Flyness. It puts the rulers back the way they were before. Doesn't use a lot of the new DM's guide stuff. Again, with the classic guide that's right in the title, though, so that's what you should expect. It's definitely it's free, so how can you fault that? It uses the Anna Meyer map. Um, and it's one of the things I really love about this. You can see the cover here on the thumbnail, but it's got an alt cover because that's supposed to be Mordenkainen on the cover, and it's got an alt cover with him with hair. Uh, and they even give a little explanation. They give a nice bibliography. They tell you where a lot of the stuff is coming from. You're going to get history and the conflicts and the gods and the calendar and the peoples and the factions and the different and brief little thumbnails of the thing. So it's not quite as in depth as my campaign guide, but it's a lot more in depth than what you got in the DM's guide. So it's fits in a nice thing there. And that's the beauty of this stuff is that you don't have to choose one or the other. You can pick and choose and smoosh them all together. Because it's all covering the same stuff, but it's covering them in different levels of detail. So definitely. I mean, you can't not get this thing. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. So definitely worth getting, and definitely a nice uh, uh, s- supplement to what you get in the DM's guide. Next up, we have Magic of Greyhawk 2, Magic Items of the Flyness by R.P. Davis. This is a PDF 495, and it is 48 pages, so it's a very good deal. It's basically a 5e conversion for a lot of the Magic items that you saw in the Greyhawk Adventures hardcover by Jim Ward. It is what it says on the tin, and if you need more Magic items and you don't feel like converting them yourself, you can't beat this. It's got art by Daniel Commerci, and Dean Spencer. Although on the inside, I couldn't really tell where there was any art. The only art I see is on the cover, so I'm not sure what's going on there. The inside it has just a black and white interior. It doesn't bother with the color interiors and the pictures and so forth that you normally associate with the 5e product, which is fine. I personally prefer the um, the cleaner black and white interiors, although I get why people would want their 5e stuff to have the parchment background and the color illustrations and so forth. Because 5e has a look, and but nothing says you have to do it, and it's perfectly serviceable. It's a single column format, so it's like I say, if you need a bunch of these magic items, like the Amulet of Furiondi and the Cloak of the Hell Furnaces, all those things that came out of the Greyhawk Adventures hardcover, this is the book for you. Next up, we have Tales from Greyhawk by Noah Stavish, Douglas Harvey, Morrows, Kira Hildebrandt, and Revelation Studios. This is a massive 456-page PDF, and they say print on demand coming soon. It is $29.95. It is a copper bestseller. This is a basically one of those huge mega adventure campaign things that 5e does, and it's focused on a bunch of factions of Greyhawk. You know, like the Scarlet Brotherhood and so forth. And you get faction missions, and it tries to connect like the village of Hamlet with Ayus and the Scarlet Brotherhood and Mishka the Wolf Spider, and you go up, and it's a whole big, from first to 14th level kind of thing. Um, it's a little odd though. I mean, it looks great. It's well done. They did. There are a couple of things I noticed that they mentioned. I think it was Nyrond or Furiondi twice. It's just the same text in two different places. Um, but that's a minor thing. The adventure is set in the very early seventh century Common Year, so 601 probably, and some of the things they have in here just don't really fit for Greyhawk, and it's a some of the things are obvious and some of the things are subtle, but it doesn't feel like, I'm it's very possible I'm being unfair to these people, but it doesn't feel like they've been doing Greyhawk for a very long time. Um, yeah, for one thing, they have part of it takes place in the village of Hamlet, and they say that the adventure is set in 601 or thereabouts. And yet the map they have of Hamlet is basically the old map from T1. It's not the revised map of Hamlet after it has grown and become an actual town that we see in Return to the Temple of Elemental Evil, which it should be. If you're going to follow that continuity, if you're going to put something in 601, you got to make sure you're going to get those details right. This is also going to throw people off who are coming to Greyhawk from the DM's Guild guide, because they're going to be used to 576, not 601. So that's going to be a little weird. Hamlet also has now a tavern called the Temple of Elemental Drinking, which is like I'm not even making this up, a themed tavern where people talk about their adventures in the Temple of Elemental Evil. And yeah, they say that one of the factions is the Knights of the Great Kingdom, and it's the way they have it set up, the Knight Protectors of the Great Kingdom, and they say that they're protectors of civilization, and they're also linked to the Old Faith, which is Druidry, which is made up. That doesn't happen in Greyhawk. So I get the impression that this might have actually been intended for something else. They have done a bunch of well, not a bunch. They've done two other um, faction books for other settings, and I don't know obviously anything of the genesis of this, but it kind of feels like they retrofitted into Greyhawk at some point. The Pomar is spelled with two M's. It's little things like that that make it feel like maybe they needed to bring somebody on board who was a little more familiar with or invested in the setting itself. But that being said, it's certainly serviceable for one of the, if you're looking for a big mega module that takes you from first to 14th level, this would fit the trick. I'm sure you could just tinker around the edges and make it work that way. Um, like I say, it's $30, 456 pages, so it's massive. The print on demand coming, so you know, take it on your own. If you're looking for something that is really true to the setting, you might want to pass this one up. If you're looking for something that doesn't necessarily have to be show as much fidelity to the setting, and you're just looking for something that you can work with in Greyhawk, then this would work for that. So, Tales from Greyhawk. And last but not least, we have The Paladins of Greyhawk by John Blaze Lent. This is a $5 PDF. It's 13 pages long. That kind of falls outside my comfort zone when it comes to how much you pay for a PDF. But if you want this kind of thing, it's not a deal breaker. The art is done by Midjourney AI. So for those of you who are AI averse, be aware. And it's basically you get what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get 10 different paladin subclasses. One for Mayaheen, Merlin, Pelor, Rao, Saint Cuthbert, are Azor Alk, Hyronius, Hextor, Foltus, and Tritherion. And it's basically what it sounds like. You get 10 new subclasses. The abilities, match what are in the new player's handbook, in terms of what levels you get different stuff, so they're good. This is good stuff. Uh, it's definitely worth getting if you want to expand your options for your players, and they've got you got somebody who wants to play a paladin. So good material. A little bit on the pricey side for how many pages it is, but not a deal breaker by any stretch. And there we are. We have a lot of stuff coming out for the Greyhawk community, and believe it or not, this is only about half of what's coming out in November. So buckle up. I got another one of these videos to do towards the end of the month. So, closer to the end of the month, I should say. So, anyway, hope you like this. Hope you found a couple of things in here that might interest you. Go off and purchase. Support the community. Support these authors. Links will be below. And hope you guys like that I'm doing these. Let me know in the comments if you want, if I should keep doing this. I want to support the community any way I can, and one way I know of doing that is to A, buy their stuff, and B, highlight it here. So anyway, hope you're having a great day, and I will talk to you later. And stay safe from Pinkerton.
Thanks for watching today's video. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Below you'll find links to my Patreon, which helps make these videos possible. You'll also find the web store where you can buy my books, and my blog where you'll find all sorts of free downloads and other articles. Thanks, and have a great day.